going to show what an Alexander Technique coaching looks like as applied to acting. This is Egla.
Hello.
She's going to be doing some work today. And the first thing we're going to do is just take a run through it just to see where it's at. All right?
Okay.
All right, take your time. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay. What is it that you want to know about me and Sean? There's nothing to say. He works all the time, I work all the time, and if I don't talk about him, it's because I have nothing to say about him except that I love him. And he makes me happy. And it makes you unhappy when I'm happy. You and I like to talk about our problems. Sean's not a problem, so I don't want to talk about him. Nobody wants to publish my fucking book. Let's talk about that. This exhibition is horrifying. Let's talk about that. But leave Sean alone. It's private. It's private right now.
Good. All right. Really nice stuff going on. So first thing off, what do you notice going through it?
I was really fast.
Yeah,
I didn't breathe.
Yeah.
That definitely two big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was chasing the text.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, that's a great observation. So the first thing I think you're right on is just to inject a little more space into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to pause all the time, but find some points if you feel like it's getting away from you or that you're really not caught up with your thought.
Yeah.
Just find some points to give it a little bit of breathing room.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of a habit going on that's going along with that, which is that it looks like whenever you're starting to run out of breath, there's a little bit of a pull-up that's happening in your shoulders, right? And that's part of that pattern that interrupts this primary relationship between head, neck, and spine that's so important to finding freedom in our bodies. So we're going to work through it again. I'm going to do a little bit of hands-on with you while we work.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a hand right here on your back. And I want you to feel all of this open space here, right? So the first thing we're doing is a little bit of nothing because we don't want to add tension in or try to hold yourself stiff because that's not going to help you to really access the piece the way you want to. So as you feel my hand on your back, just feel a little bit of a sense that your shoulder blades can release on your back and relax away from each other. Good. So as you do that, I can already feel a little bit more breath going a little bit lower in your body, right? So that could be another thing, nice thing for you to tune into. Is just going into the breath lower in your body. When in doubt, feel the little movement of the side ribs down here.
Yeah.
Good. And that will help you get in touch with a little bit of that deeper access. The other thing I might do a bit as we work, so I put my hand here and give you a little bit of this sense of freeing up into the hand. Because when the shoulders go up, it doesn't move in isolation. Normally when that happens, there's also a little bit of their head pulling back a little bit on top of it, right? So if you can keep this long, once again, without holding it stiff, good. So just imagine your head's freeing up into my hand, right? So not doing a movement, but just good. That's it's a subtle adjustment, but it makes a big difference because I just felt your entire body start to go upwards and sort of having a bit of collapse. That's really nice. And your weight's coming a bit more forward on your feet, and that's exactly what should happen, right?
Yeah.
Might feel a little less stable, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good. And so what we'll just do is we'll work through your piece a bit. I might say the word pause every once in a while, and that's just if I feel like you're getting away from it. If you're getting a bit away from it, just pause for a moment and come back to my hands. I might give you an instruction, but we're just going to work through it and see where it goes. Okay? Sound good?
Yes.
All right, take your time. Whenever you're ready, you can begin.
What is it that you want to know about me and Sean? There's nothing to say. I work all the time. He works all the time. And if I don't say anything about him, it's because I have nothing to say except that I love him.
Good. Pause. A little bit of this freedom coming in here. You're doing
Yeah.
great.
I was running out of breath and I felt it.
Yeah.
Right.
So get a new impulse. It's okay. Connect with whatever's going on right now. That's great. Fantastic. Good. It's come from a little bit of that openness. It's hard because the character is a little defensive right now, so
Right.
you want to close. It's okay to do that, but don't let it close you up as an actor.
Yeah.
It's a trick. All right, take it from wherever you want. You're doing great.
If I don't want to talk about him, it's because I have nothing to say about him, except that I love him.
Good.
And he makes me happy.
Good. Keep going with that.
And it makes you unhappy when I'm happy.
Great.
You and me like to talk about our problems.
Good. I'm going to step away. Keep on going with it.
Sean's not a problem, so I don't want to talk about him. Nobody wants to publish my fucking book. Let's talk about that. This exhibition is horrifying. Let's talk about that. But leave Sean alone. It's private. It's private right now.
So, Egla, what did you notice that last time going through your piece?
I noticed more life in the piece. It felt like those words were mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt much more organic.
Yeah, you had
Those are the biggest
much
things.
more ownership of the text.
Yes.
Even though we were focusing on some pretty physical things throughout,
Yeah.
the result of what happened is that there was a lot more vulnerability in the text. So instead of just seeing the character's defensiveness, we saw layers of what was going on inside you. We saw a lot more of the history and backstory, but without you trying to use a lot of acting effort to show us.
Yes.
And that's what was really lovely about it. And on the physical level, it also just got a lot stiller and more focused. And whether you were doing that in stage or in film, a lot what you were trying to convey could really translate out to your audience with a lot less effort.
Right.
That's really nice work.
Thank you. Thank you.